According to College Board, an interview with Simone Biles has her saying that the mental is not there, and she does not feel like she used to when she performed. Simone Biles is a world level athlete and feels pressure from all of her friends, peers, and from herself. Professional athletes feel pressure to perform, and so do we as humans, and it's apparent in many adults, whether it be in the workplace, whether it be in their personal lives, or whether it be through relationships. Stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol are apparent in everyday lives, and this comes through the adrenal gland. Hello, my name is Sid Shah, and today I will be talking about adrenal release. Doing my research, I have curated this question: do long-term psychological effects of adrenal release have a significant impact on the nervous system in adults? And I've come to the conclusion that it does have negative impacts on the nervous system in adults. These are through three negative effects: one being sleep disturbances, two being substance abuse, and three being anxiety disorders. Now, before we start, first we have to address the idea of stress and what it is. This is a visual made by the Current Science Association, and it shows the dark on the top left, the dark highlighted box being the stressor, and both the bold and dotted lines lead to either the adrenal medulla or the adrenal cortex. These both are a part of the adrenal gland, and and both cortisol, which is a stress hormone, and epinephrine, also known as adrenaline, are apparent and are excreted from the adrenal gland. What is stress? Stress can occur at almost any time and is apparent in everyday life. Though health is meant to be healthy and alert you when in stressful situations and life-threatening situations, elongated periods of stress and chronic stress can negatively affect your psychological health. Now first, let's talk about sleep disturbances. From the Current Science Association, they have to say, evidence suggests that stress can also affect biological clocks, which is sometimes overlooked. When thinking about sleep, you don't want to be alert with adrenaline, or you don't want to be stressed with cortisol. When sleeping, your cortisol levels are meant to decrease, which causes the increase of melatonin, which is a sleep hormone. Continuing from the World Health Organization, they have to say sensory impairments, sleep, physical activity, substance abuse, and traumatic injuries can influence the brain health across the life course, which also relates to the previous topic, talking about sleep. With substance abuse, it is caused by impaired cortisol levels and affected by the neurotransmitters in one's head. Stress responses are one of the leading causes of substance abuse. Continuing, anxiety disorders are very apparent with substance abuse as well. Researcher Richard Dung from the National Academy of Science Associations says that with the stress response, when a stress response becomes elongated or chronic, it can lead to a development of many types of anxiety disorders. This was from a study in 2016 provided by the National Academy of Science, and it shows that in fact, chronic stress can lead to anxiety disorders. And once elongated, it becomes a very big issue with one's psychological health. Now, some solutions that we can look at are a supportive community, a healthy lifestyle, and coping with stress in healthier ways, and finally, seeking help for substance abuse. A supportive community can also be from peers or from family. A healthy lifestyle consists of healthy sleep, healthy diet, and physical health, such as going to the gym or working out, which was also mentioned by the World Health Association. Coping with stress in healthier ways can include going to a therapist, which is now very common, and also talking to friends and family about your issues. Seeking help for substance abuse can be looked at with AA, which is Alcoholics Anonymous, and different peer groups that will help deal with addiction and help overcome it. There are many limitations to this problem, but the main limitation is us. We have not created enough systems to support and help out our peers and families and friends, and we have not been supportive enough to create proper systems that will help out and support everyone. But it's become apparent that stress is a very big factor in our lives, and when it is chronic, it does affect one's psychological health through cortisol, increased cortisol levels, and it does affect the adrenaline. Sleep, substance abuse, and anxiety disorders are all apparent in one's life and should be taken very, very seriously cared of. This is why adrenal release is negatively affects humans. Thank you.
All right, Sid, 2 questions for you. First up, how did you select the strategies that you used to gather your research?
I selected the strategies through information that I had previously known from my past. So I had to learn a couple things on the adrenal glands and the pituitary gland and how the brain works in general. But I created a system going through every single part of my negative effects, going through substance abuse and going through all the other ones. And I curated a proper technique going through every single one specifically.
Okay, and what additional questions came up as you were working your way through the research?
Some additional questions is how the personal brain of everyone is differed by stress. So maybe one person, responds to stress differently than the other. It's not only, how they show the stress, but how it affects them mentally and how it differs from one human to another.